Game activation is live. We're set.
Okay, everybody, if you're not sure what to do right now, maybe just fiddle with some knobs, try to look busy.
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. 4 evenly matched competitors would make this game a lot more interesting. There's your hardware. If you think an opponent doesn't know the answer, hit your screw button and you'll force them to answer immediately. If they miss it, you win big. And our wrong answer of the game is brought to you by
the San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Sniff out our sponsor's wrong answer of the game and you'll end up with a great prize and serious cash. All right, here goes nothing.
Get ready, time for question 1.
To get started, Bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Players 1, 2, and 4. What kind of dried, shriveled up brains have you been looking at? Player 3. Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it. Say hello to, his acting is alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages? The McCona Industrial Age? The McCona Middle Ages? Or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Players 2 and 4.
Whoa!
Players 1 and 3. All wrong. The correct answer is, the Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Up next, brought to you by the letter Unibrow.
It's the point that you're listening to order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Player 4. Players 2 and 3. The Count would be so disappointed. Player 1. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! You just picked up an extra $1,000 for that. And yet, none of them have ever blinked. How about Duck Duck Swan? Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? You got it, player. Player 2, you've been screwed. You got 5 seconds. Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. Player 4, carefully you screw next time. Let's try the man in the backwards yellow hat. And it's a dis or dat. Player 4, your score's looking a little thin. You take this one and try and fatten it up. I'm... to read off 7 things, and for each one you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber or an antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. The rest of you ought to pay attention. Lock in your answers before player 4 does, because if player 4 gets it wrong, everyone who got it right will split that cash. Cool, let's do it. Pete broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Ew, baby, 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 ew. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. That'll bring an end to our first round. And player 3 is at the front of the class. At least for the moment. Don't forget, in round 2, all the cash is doubled. And keep in mind, our wrong answer to the game is still out there waiting to be picked. Well, no time like the present. This one's called Dumber and Dumberer 2. So there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Players 2 and 4. Now that's just the dumberest answer I ever heard. Player 3. Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise. Player 1. No, but speaking of otter, get it? You just won the greatest hits of the San Francisco Otter Choir. Hailed as one of the top 3 otter choirs in the world, the San Francisco Otter Choir will astound you with their covers of Little Red Corvette and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Today's wrong answer of the game is worth a whopping $8,000. Enjoy.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
It's time for Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go. At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Players 1 and 4. You may not know how temperatures work. Players 2 and 3. 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah, 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 he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
Open wide for Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus. Player 4. Players 1, 2, and 3. That answer has a hole in it. Next time, try this. Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Pucker up for Wine or Lose. If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Player 2, can't do anything right, can you? Player 1, this is right. Oops, this is white, which is wrong. Players 3 and 4. Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. Why not try I Wanna Lick and Roll All Night? If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? Player 3, who gets your screw? Oh, you're screwed, Player 1. You got 5 seconds. Uh-oh, that's not good. Superb screwing, Player 3. Grab a few more bucks, why don't you? Players 2 and 4. I don't think that's even as long as the tongue he already has. Player 3. An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Step right up to the jack attack. When you... you already know the rules. Off you go. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. Player 3 takes the win! Player 3, great win. You gonna write about it in your diary? You should. I can't imagine what the hell else you got worth writing about. At the top of the page you can put... You know